how does debt grow? It grows and it grows fast. Let me tell you. Compound growth is beautiful and it's ugly depending on what it's in. Similar to as we talked about with the interest rates. If it's in investments, it's great. If it's in your debt, it's a real bummer. So compound interest or compound growth basically means tossing the interest that has been earned back into the principal to continue growing. Compound growth is what helps your debt grow exponentially over time, just continues to go and go and go and go. So let's meet my friend Ron here. Ron's going to be our example. This isn't actually my friend. Never met this guy in my life. Found a picture online, but thank you, Ron, for participating. Ron has an auto loan of $10K at a 10% interest rate that's compounded annually. And hypothetically, this is all a hypothetical example here, but since we have minimum payments in real life, this is going to be, let's just pretend he didn't touch his principal. He didn't touch his loan at all for 30 years. Let's take a look at how his debt would grow. His debt would grow in this way. So the first year, the principal is $10,000, as we said, with the interest of 10%. So we got $10,000, 10%. It grows $1,000. That's the growth right there for a total of $11,000. All right, now stick with me here for the second year. In the second year, we have the original $10,000 multiplied by the 10%. That is the interest rate, plus the growth from last year, year one, plus last year's growth times the interest, right? So now it's up to $2,100 because the original is still getting hit with it. So that's 1,000 plus 1,000 from last year plus 1,000 times 0.1. That gives you the 100 there, $2,100 for a total of $12,100. And now the third year, and I think you're really going to see what I'm working with here, is we have the original $10,000 times the interest rate plus the growth from last year that's been growing, plus that growth times 10%, because I was also getting hit by the 10%. So now it's grown $3,310 for $13,310 being the total. So in 3 years, you've added an extra $3,310, which is nutty. So since we're pretending Ron didn't have any minimum payments or never touched this loan at all, if this grew for 30 years and it continued to compound like that, just that interest rate is just nailing the growth here. That growth is going to end up being $164,000. That growth is just interest compounding on top of each other for a total of $174,000, which is wild. That's a lot. So what's my point? It's pretty cool math. The point is debt has the possibility of growing really, really fast. Those interest rates, if they continue to compound on each other, can get out of control. And there's a point, and we saw it in the last example, where your interest grows larger than your actual principal, and you end up paying way more in interest than your actual original principal, the original loan that you wanted. And that's due to compound growth. And that's how it works. So I got another example for you. This is my friend Jessica, and this example just blows my mind. Our friend Jessica here, once again, never met her in my life, just found a non-copyright image off the internet. She's got great style though. Jessica's in $21,000 of credit card debt with an interest of 18%. But she has a minimum payment, unlike our man Ron. And the minimum payment each month is $225 a month. So what's going to happen? How long is it going to take for her to pay this off? Jessica would never pay this off. Her interest rate would just soar. Just the interest alone would be larger than her minimum payment, and it would continue to be that way forever. She would never pay this debt off because of the interest being so large. If she just did minimum payments, she would never pay it off. And that's crazy. The interest would just grow faster than her minimum payments could. All right, so let's switch it up here then. Jessica, once again, she has this principal of $21,000, 18%, with the minimum payment now is bumped up to $315 a month. What's going to happen? She may pay it off. She's still never going to pay this off. That's crazy. $315. The interest would just grow, and actually it's almost the exact same. Her minimum payment is the exact same as the interest. So she's going to be stuck in $21,000 of debt for the rest of her life. That's all she ever paid. Give her another chance here. The least Jessica could ever pay is $316 a month. And it would take her 32 years and 3 months to pay it off. And the interest would have grown to $101,162.04. That's a lot of interest paid. And we don't want that. But we want to minimize paying as much as we can by tackling our debt hard and quick so that interest rate doesn't have a chance to grow. Jessica is just barely paying over that minimum payment of $316 is just barely over what the interest rate would grow at. So it would take her forever to pay it off. It's doable, but it'd take her forever. So our goals moving forward is figuring out ways that we can crunch that time down so we can pay off that interest. We can pay off that debt quick before interest gets out of hand. And that's it. That is how interest grows. I'll see you in the next video.